Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Brunch with Besties. Today I have
Lakiesha,
Chanel,
Nadia
here with me, and I'm Sherry. We are all your co-hosts, and today's episode is called Transitioning to 30.
Whoop whoop.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
We all 30, child.
Yeah. We all.
We are.
So of course we're gonna start with the toast. So Chanel, who are you toasting to this week?
Oh, I'm first. Okay. No, I'm kidding. No, my toast is gonna go to drum roll. Miss Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Y'all, Insecure is coming back.
Yes.
I feel like
Didn't it come on already or no?
no, it come on tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm like uber excited. I'm like, forget Game of Thrones, forget Power, forget Queen Sugar. Listen, forget all them shows, child. Cause Insecure. Yes, Team Issa. I'm ready for Molly. I'm ready for the whole gang. Like, I really feel like I know them. Like, I'm a part of the clique.
I wish they would just release them all. Like, can I just binge watch,
binge
please?
watch. Come on. But they ain't gonna do that. But I'm gonna be fiending every Sunday. Like, where is Insecure? So, shout out to her. She's been doing some great things on the cover of so many magazines and just giving us that black girl magic. I'm so proud of her.
That's what's up. I finally got through the first season, so I am excited to see the second season.
All right, Miss Nadia, who are you toasting to?
Today I am gonna toast to drum roll.
That was not a drum.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Right. To one of our co-hosts, Miss Sherry. I'm gonna toast to her today. She has definitely been our project manager. She kind of took that over.
out to Sherry.
She did not know that she was gonna be that, but that is what she is.
PMP?
Yes, she has been keeping us on our P's and Q's, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes.
thank you. Okay.
Woo woo.
Miss Lakiesha.
Man, it was tough, but I want to shout out you guys and Dooch too for coming out and just supporting me. Man, it's hard out here. Just supporting me every step of the way with my podcast, my business, me doing community events. I really appreciate y'all for coming out and just having my back. So I toast to y'all.
Oh, thank you. No problem, Ray. We got you. We got y'all. Insecure.
Hashtag
Insecure. Oh, goodness.
I am going to toast to Girls Trip.
Okay.
So don't be mad, y'all, but I saw it last night.
It's okay.
I'm going to go see it again with y'all because that's how good it is.
Okay.
Like, I was laughing like never before. Like, it was crazy. So you know how like on the commercials how they show you the funniest parts and then you go and you're kind of disappointed?
Right.
Not at all.
Wow.
Like, it was laughs on tops of laughs.
Okay.
Laughs on tops of laughs.
Shout out to that.
Like, this movie, I called my brother this morning and I was like, did you go see it? And he was like, why would I go see that?
He said you forget.
Like, that's a chick flick. And I was like, no, you got to see it. So yeah, so we all have to go see it again together because it was super, it was definitely funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. I'm glad. We need that for the culture.
Yes.
It's so much
Yes.
negative, like girls together. So we need that positive.
And it reminded me of y'all. That's why it was like, I was sitting there dying like, yep. That one is Chanel.
Well, who was who then?
now you got it.
I don't know, because y'all might get a little mad.
No,
Y'all might
I
get
want
a
to know.
little mad.
I love
I
all
wanna know
those ladies
that
in it, though. I love all of them.
But I will say that I think that it was us exaggerated.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's that newer actress's name?
Haddish, yeah.
The one with the like comedian?
Oh, Regina Hall?
No,
Tiffany.
Tiffany,
Okay.
Tiffany.
Tiffany's character is Chanel.
I love Tiffany.
She is hilarious.
Like, she was like the easygoing, carefree, fun girl. Like, okay, y'all got drama, but who cares? Like, let's just have a good time.
Yes.
So to me, that's what Chanel brings to the group. She always makes sure that we have fun, and she'll call you out if you're not. But she will say my asterisk for this is that she was you to the 10th power. Like, she is not you, but
extreme.
yes.
Okay.
She is you on 1,000.
Man, on 1,000.
On 1,000.
Then Jada Pickett's character was sometimes Nadia and sometimes Lakiesha. The reason why I'm saying sometimes Nadia is because I can't remember if she was a nurse, but she was something in the medical field. Okay. And I was like, oh, look at Nurse Nadia.
Hilarious.
But she had got a divorce and she had kids and she was kind of reserved. You know what I mean? She was kind of like, you know, the polar opposite of
Tiffany Haddish's character,
right?
Okay.
And so I was like, but she was also kind of playing the peacemaker, and so that's why I was like, okay, that's kind of Nadia, but then I kind of felt like that was kind of Lakeisha, you know. So yeah, and we ain't gonna talk about me. So
I was just about to say,
Who are you?
you know, I could see myself. Actually, when I saw Queen Latifah, I was like, that's Scarlett.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's so Scarlett. But I feel like I could see pieces of me in all of them. You know what I mean? Pieces of me in all of them. But I felt like Regina Hall, definitely, in some aspects. But then I also kind of felt like Jada Pickett's character, I could see myself being her too, because she was like, you know, because I think in some respects I can be kind of reserved, and y'all like, just do it.
Except, right. Except when it's your birthday and we out of town.
Right.
I mean, anything can happen. Which is good segue because we're talking about 30. So
We are. But so let's go ahead and break bread. So Chanel, what's going on, boo? How you doing?
We were kind of talking about this before we actually started, but summer school is over.
Yeah.
Won't they do it? So now I'm getting prepared to start my new job at a new school, so I'm excited about that. But I need to really like get my life together before I start and jump back in here. So I'm excited, but I'm a little tired. But I'm gonna get my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Nadia, what's going on, boo?
Nothing new, nothing major. I'm just excited that this week is a short week.
Won't
you know,
he do
we
it?
have our girls trip coming up.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about
Whoop, whoop.
that. But other than that, you know, I'm just grateful.
Awesome.
Nothing major.
Awesome. Miss Lakeisha.
I started back journaling.
Cool.
Yeah, I got away from it for a little bit, but I just needed to get myself back centered and focused on certain things in my life. And so journaling has been the best thing ever.
Yes, it is.
So, yes, I've just been journaling a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Back to center.
Yes.
All right, and mine is kind of similar to Miss Nadia. I'm just excited because we're going to Atlanta, and we are celebrating Lakeisha's birthday.
Still, let me mind y'all. We've been celebrating my birthday for like half the year.
We've been celebrating her birthday since the 99 and the 2000.
I appreciate it though. So, you know, I'm still accepting gifts, cards, whatever, money, whatever you want to give me.
Whatever you want to send, you know. But so yeah, we're going to Atlanta. Lakeisha's birthday was back in March, but we are our gift to her was a trip to Atlanta to go see Miss Heather Lindsay. So shouts out to Heather Lindsay.
Yeah.
I love her.
She recorded a super sweet message for Lakeisha, and that was awesome.
That was
she
so
did.
dope. That was so
Not only
dope.
that, but she actually sent me several renditions.
Like, you like this one or this one?
She sent me an A and a B selection.
I was telling Lakeisha that I didn't realize that her husband was also having an event that same weekend at the same hotel.
No, I didn't know.
It's called the Man Cave or something.
I didn't know it was at the same time.
Interesting.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I'm like, there's going to be some men in the building.
It will be.
God is lining things up.
Absolutely.
No.
Listen.
Okay, so for today's topic, we're talking about transitioning to 30. So we are all now 30. Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
And so let's just kind of do a little breakdown or recap of us turning 30. So let's go in order.
Okay.
So Miss Nadia, our trailblazer, she old.
Our guinea pig. She's always first.
She's first. So she was first to turn 30. So what happened? But what you do? How you bring it in?
October. So we did. We went to Grand Geneva.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a nice little getaway. I kind of wanted to do something different. So we went and had like kind of like a spa day. We did like a paint and sip. So that was nice. It was definitely like a different culture, but it was a good experience. I wanted something different from the, usual turn up that some people do for their birthday. So I think it was pretty good. I think I brought it in doing something different, and that was what was important to me. So Yep.
Yes.
And of course, all my girls were there, so
All
that's
the girls
always
were there.
always great.
Yeah. I flew in from North Carolina. It was a good time.
Yeah.
You did. Oh,
did.
you're so sweet. You
I was
sure
like,
did.
I had to be here. That was the worst flight ever my whole entire life too. But I was like, anything for Nadia. It was terrible, y'all. Like,
That's why I love you guys.
yeah, don't fly Frontier. It was terrible.
Unless you flying for free.
And for real, go to free.
Okay, Chanel, you were next, girl.
Yeah, so
You old too.
right, we like 2 weeks apart. No, I was kidding. No, my birthday was so lit. So I had like a Chanel themed surprise party. It wasn't like a real surprise. Like I knew it was happening, but I didn't know how it was gonna go down. But we actually celebrated on Christmas Day. So shout out to y'all for like leaving y'all families to come celebrate.
Christmas was at my house, so I had to kick my family out.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all
just
gotta go.
Set up. Y'all spent time setting up and cooking stuff, and it was beautiful. Like I enjoyed myself. Like the best birthday probably in my whole entire life. Like it was awesome. So now I'm like, I need to celebrate my birthday on Christmas every year on my fake birthday. Yeah, on my real birthday I didn't do anything, but it was dope. Like all the Chanel stuff. So I felt special. Like this is great.
Yeah,
So.
but I think we had to do it on Christmas because that's when you would be here.
Right.
Because you were still living out of town.
But then I ended up moving back because I was like, I just want to come home every day. So I ended up staying here. So it worked out.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then my birthday was after Chanel's in February. And my friends is so tight. Y'all are so amazing. They surprised me with a trip to Los Angeles, California. So I've been wanting to go for a while, and it just kind of never worked out. And somehow they cleared my schedule. Lakiesha calling the different organizations that I'm a part of, and was like, she ain't gonna be able to make it.
We was on it.
And got me to take off work, and got me in the car. Got me in the airport.
And she had no idea where we were
Didn't know
going.
where we were going. Got me through TSA.
Yes.
Shout out to TSA.
Right.
to
Thank
TSA.
y'all so
Actually,
much.
I don't know. I feel like I should be reporting them. Because how you gonna let somebody come through with no ticket? I don't know.
With
That's all I'm
nothing.
saying. But in any case, and so it wasn't until we were getting ready to board. I think they had me sitting in front of like a Detroit sign or something. And I was like, oh, a Flint sign.
It was Flint.
I was like, they don't even have clean water. What the gosh y'all taking me here for? But
We're not gonna Steve Harvey Flint. Shout out to Flint, and we're still praying for you guys living in Flint.
But in any case, so we went to we ended up going to Los Angeles, California, and had the best birthday ever. We stayed in a penthouse suite. We got to go see Steve Harvey's Celebrity Family Feud.
It was lit.
Got to do the Hollywood Walk. And so it was just an amazing time. And then, of course, we had a turn up
We did.
moment.
We did. Oh, we did.
You just gonna gloss over that one.
Yeah. So, and the last person to turn 30 was Lakiesha. Go ahead, tell us about that, Keith.
That is so funny. Yes, I'm the last person to turn 30. I turned 30 in March. I actually had a 90s theme party, which was awesome. But of course, anybody that knows me, I don't want people to help. I'm like, just come, just show up. Like, if I could do stuff for free, I would. Don't want anybody to ever pay for anything. Just come. But my friends, of course, just didn't stick to that. So they actually surprised me with a trip to Heather Lindsay's Pinky Promise that she has every year. And that was like the greatest gift ever. And I think it just spoke to the magnitude of our friendship. Because I think, at that point of time too, like I was definitely like, child, these ain't my real friends, because it was like some stuff that would pop up and I'd be like, you know what, God, if they ain't my real friends, take them out of my life, like but definitely and it wasn't the fact that they spent money, but just really knowing me and making that sacrifice. So I really appreciate y'all for that.
Definitely.
Yay.
I just want to say that everybody's going to listen to this and be like, Nadia's birthday was the wackest.
That's what happens when you go first. I'm just like,
Listen, and I feel like we definitely mulled over that, like, dang, like,
no, but I think that it got progressively better.
Definitely.
So it started with you. So I think that yours was like we should do like an event or like a trip type of thing. And then for Chanel's, it was like, oh, like let's do like a custom party. And then, it started small, but we blew that way up. Yeah. And Chanel left out the part that we actually had a personal photographer there for her.
Yeah, I left that part out for a specific reason. That's another episode. That's another episode. But shout out to him.
Refer to Chanel's post back on, I'm just playing.
Go back on Singles in the City. It's a blog all about it. It's all in there.
So read all about that.
That is so funny.
But no, I think it got progressively better.
It did. It really did.
Yes. So,
and we have some great things coming up for you.
We
so
do. I was going to say, you guys definitely.
I think we have more than enough things to make up for that, honey.
More than enough, child.
Hey, we're going to have a lot of time.
Yes.
So, since we're all 30, Miss Nadia, we are all 30. So, what's going to be different?
So, for me, what's going to be different in 30? I think what's like the biggest difference for me is going to be the impact of societal standards and pressures. I think that in my 20s there was a lot of this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how it's supposed to be done, just thinking a lot about what others thought about how I did things. So in my 30s I believe that's definitely going to be different. It's going to be focusing more on me, what Nadia wants. Obviously, I'm not a selfish person, so I could never just completely forget about everyone, but just zoning in to becoming a better me, and not necessarily taking, so much to heart when it comes to what other people think and so on and so forth. So that's going to be the biggest difference for me.
Cool. Okay. So, Miss Lakiesha, what do you plan to leave behind? Like, what are you saying bye-bye to?
Man, doubt. I know we'll always have those situations where that fear will kind of creep up and have us second guessing ourselves. But with my 30s, I'm just planning to be more bolder and confident and secure in who I am and what I have to offer. So just leaving that doubt in the past. Like, who needs that?
Right. Who needs that?
Right. You better say that.
Hashtag who needs that?
Yes, claim that. That's awesome.
So Chanel, 20s. The 20s. What was your biggest fear
in my 20s
about turning 30?
Oh, I think that when we're kids, you think like, oh, turning 30, you're so old. Like,
yes.
And it's like, you should have like X, Y, and Z. Like, you should be married, you should have a house, like you should have all these things.
Right.
So I think looking back now, being 30, that I don't have those things, it's like, it's okay. Like, I guess our idea of what an adult is when we were kids was a little skewed. Yeah. So now I'm like, I'm 30, but I'm still like, I need a more grown-up person to kind of lead me on. Like, even though I'm 30, I'm still looking for like somebody older, like show me what to do. So I think that was the fear, but I think at 30, you don't necessarily have to have all those things. If you do, shout out to you. But if you don't, I mean, I think we posted something on our Instagram page. Follow your own clock, and follow your own time. And I think that's important. So
yeah, definitely. It's funny that you said that you thought 30 was old, because I know that was me. And I remember talking to Scarlett, and I kept saying like, I can't date him. He's 32. Like, he's 33. He's 30, whatever. And then she was like, Sherry, do you know how old you are? She was like, if you keep trying to date young guys, you're going to be a pedophile. Right. Like, you need to,
get it together.
Because I literally stopped counting after 25.
You did.
Like, I kept saying like, oh, it's my second annual, my third annual, my fourth annual, 25th
So we don't
birthday.
know how old you are, actually. You could be 30. I don't know.
I don't know. None of us have seen your birth certificate.
We're not sure. Crazy.
Well, according to the shirt that Nadia has on,
so man, those shirts are so nice. Her shirt's still black and like nice. Like I was finna touch you. I'm sorry, but it's like not like how like buckles or like chips.
Right.
So good
shirt. The shirt that Nadia has on was from my birthday party. It says Sherry's Dirty 30, and it looks really nice.
It looks great.
Mm-hmm. So so according to her shirt, I'm 30. So we're just gonna roll with it.
We're gonna roll with it. But that's it.
Yeah, but that's it. Okay, so let's finish this statement. If I knew now what I knew then. Let's start with Miss Chanel.
Ooh. If
I knew then what I know now.
Yeah, if I knew then what I knew now about like financial things, I would have made a lot of better choices.
Okay.
I think now it's definitely starting to catch up with me, but as far as like college is concerned, I would have went to UWM or UW somebody and saved myself a lot of money.
Ooh, wouldn't we all?
So yeah, so if I knew then, like somebody would have told me like, hey, don't go there, go here and get some scholarships and save your money. I would have totally been in a better spot financially. So
Miss Nadia, if I knew then what I know now.
If I knew then what I know now, I would definitely worry less.
Hello, somebody.
I would have not been worrying because where I am now, I mean, I'm not perfect. I have not arrived, but child, it is okay.
Right.
You in a good spot, right? You're in a great spot.
Yes, I agree. Miss Lakiesha, if I knew then what I know now.
My worth.
Oh, girl.
Come on. I feel a word coming, so I'm ready. I feel a word coming.
No,
I felt the spirit.
Right.
Yes, my worth, because if I knew my worth, I wouldn't allow others to dictate it for me.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
That's good.
So,
Amen. And it's funny because mine is really similar to Nadia. Like, I spent so much time in my 20s worried, like, you know, when I graduated or when we all graduated, it was the recession. So it was hard to find work. And I was like, oh, am I going to get a job? Am I going to move out? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Like, I spent so much time harping over those things. And one thing that I realized is that it'll be okay.
Right.
yeah.
You know, it'll just always be okay. Regardless of where you are today or what happened today, it will be okay in the big scheme of things. And also going back to the event that Lakiesha invited us to, Spirit.
Oh, spirit, soul, body. Yeah,
Like
spirit,
she
soul,
said,
body.
like, it's not cancer, you know, like,
Yeah.
and some things are cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not the end of the world.
Right.
So just taking things with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some regrets.
Uh-oh.
Maybe, I don't know if this should go in tea. I don't know what Chanel's going to say, so I don't know if we should go into tea time or what. But biggest regret, Chanel.
Well, okay. Let me pause this. I don't want to say it's a regret, but
And are we talking about in our 20s?
in our 20s.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I had my son when I was like 21. And I just feel like I probably should have waited before making that choice. I mean, it was definitely a choice because he was playing. It wasn't like, oops. So I think I would have waited before having a kid. I just think I missed out a lot in my 20s because I was a mom. Like, things had changed for me. So from 21 to like 28, like I missed it all, like all the fun I could have been having. And I mean, this may sound selfish if you don't have kids, but if you have kids, you probably like, okay, like I kind of get it. Because kids, they definitely change your whole life and your whole outlook. And 20s, I feel like, are a time where you should be making mistakes and having a good time and worrying and doing all of those things because that's what your 20s are about, to figure those things out. And I feel like for me, I just had a different experience. So if that was my one thing where I'm like, I wish I could have changed that. I mean, I love my son. He's great. He's like the dopest little kid ever. But if I would have waited a little bit and kind of learned then what I know now, I would be a different mom in general. So that's kind of one of my things where I'm like, dang. And you can't get your 20s back. So now I feel like now I'm 30 and I want to kick and I want to do all these things. But it's just like, now you old, bro. Like, no. So.
And good luck having the stamina to do all those things.
Right. Like, I be tired. I be trying, y'all. But then I be like, you know what? I'm
Man.
tired. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
So.
I went to a wedding last weekend, and I think I left around like 11 or so, and then it was a long drive home. So I made it home around midnight. I slept the entire next day.
man,
I
you
slept
was
right
out.
through church.
So
Like, I woke up like, you couldn't make it if you really tried.
said, yep, let's turn on this online service.
Right. Let me log in.
Wow. That's so real. Like, you
Yeah.
just be wore out.
My body is just like, no.
And the thing, right, when we were 20, like, we could just keep going
just
and
keep
going. Now, nah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lakiesha, tell us about dating in your 30s.
Man, okay, so
I'm so excited for this part. I'm like,
I'm not spilling any
It's in
tea. I
my
will
water.
recuse myself of certain things. Dating in your 30s, man. I think just us as millennials, it's tough. because I don't feel like we're always on the same page with guys. I will share an experience. A guy asked me out who's 37, and it's funny because in my head I was like, "You too old." Like, but then I was like, "Wait, like I'm 30?" So he's just like 7 years older than me. Yeah. I was willing to give it a shot, and it just never happened. So. And I don't want people to think I have unreasonable standards, because I really do not. Anybody that really knows me knows that. But first off, he texted me. And if you're trying to get to know me, you definitely need to call me at least. So he didn't do that. So, I corrected him on that. And I was just like, hey, you just need to text me. Then he asked to send a picture. And I was just like, wait, like.
Time out.
And, granted, I don't know which type of picture, headshot, whatever. Still, I'm not sending you no picture. That's just not me.
You should have sent him an emoji. With the emoji like this.
No, you should have sent him a picture of himself. That's what I would do.
And I was just like, well, that's just so inappropriate. And he apologized. Like, I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna give you another shot. Okay. So we had a date planned. We were gonna go to dinner. Dinner did not happen because evidently he had dinner with his daughter, and I was just like, well, it was nice for you to tell me that, like, a few minutes before we were supposed to go out. So this is all bad, John.
It's just all bad. Like, the story keep getting worse.
I know. Dang. And
we gonna post this picture on our. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't do that. Lord help me.
Man.
But I was just like, okay, well, it would have been nice for you to talk to me and tell me that you were having dinner. I definitely understand, because I have kids of my own. And he, again, apologetic about it. And he was like, okay, do you want to go get ice cream, I think he said. And I was like, okay, whatever. Then it was like changing to like do bowling. And I was like, well, I'm not dressed to bowl. Like, I don't want to do that. I was like, well, Dave and Buster's. Because I was thinking, well, shoot, if we doing all these changes, you want to take me to Dave and Buster's then. So I can spend some money and,
Right.
And he was like, well, how much does that cost? And I was just like, you know what? I don't know. I'm just not in it. Like, I think I'm going to call it a night or whatever. And he, texted me and was like, did I say something to make you mad? Like, I'm sorry. Then he ended up calling me. So he called me and I picked up. And I just told him. I was like, it just doesn't seem like this is working. Like, you don't seem like a man of your word. And he was, again, apologetic. I was like, maybe we can try again the following weekend and kind of see. He texted me out the blue like a couple of days ago and was like, hey, stranger, did I respond? No,
And he's 37?
Yeah, he is. So I just kind of left that be. So dating in 30s, it's a process. Although I did have a great date with a great guy. And it was perfect, perfect gentleman and everything.
A different guy.
A different guy, yes. Yeah. Not the same guys. Same guy. So that gave me hope, I guess, in a sense, to know, like, there are some millennials out there who still are old-fashioned in a sense. Because I'm old-fashioned when it comes to certain things. Granted, I think I am new age on certain areas of life when it comes to dating, but definitely, like, being a gentleman, opening up doors, coming up to the house, things like that. And just talk a little more further about dating in our 30s, because I am a mental health therapist, of course. When I think of theorist Erik Erikson, his stage of development, which is psychosocial, is intimacy versus isolation. And right now, we're all in that stage. You're usually in that stage at 19 to 40 years old. And that stage is very powerful, as it's built on love and people having those intimate, deep relationships with other people, as well as friendships. They don't just have to solely be intimate romantic relationships, but the stage prior is identity versus role confusion. And he believes, Erik Erikson, that if you don't complete the stages in order, you won't be successful in that stage you're in. So the stage prior, the identity versus role confusion, if you don't know who you are, you won't ever be able to have deep, intimate relationships with people.
We need like a slow clap for that. Like, that was awesome.
So, I think about sometimes some of the guys we have dated, I attribute that maybe they just didn't complete that stage prior because they didn't know who they were. So they couldn't give us that emotional connection. So they had that emotional isolation, the loneliness themselves, that depression. So not anything we did, because we may have completed those stages and we're ready to enter into those deep romantic relationships. But enough of that. I have a little game for you guys.
Okay.
All right. Yes, I'm ready.
It's 4 questions. There's no right or wrong answer. I think just to hear the different perspectives of it, I think I'm going to call it It's a Date, I think.
It's a date. Like 21 Savage. It's a date. Okay.
It's a date.
I love 21 Savage too.
So, question number 1. After how many dates would you consider yourself dating somebody? After he asked you out, after 3 dates, or after 5 dates?
Oh, I'm gonna say after 3, then we're dating. But here's the thing, like let me explain. They have to be like 3 like good dates, like not one like your first example. That's not it. No, that don't count. So it has to be like 3 consecutive like dope dates for me to be like, okay, I'm dating him.
Yeah,
and I guess exclusively too. Like I'm dating just him and no other people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she not a serial dater. I just can't.
Okay, Chanel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can't make up our own option.
No, you cannot.
I'm married, so I'm exempt.
You cannot. So when you were on the dating scene, Nadia,
I just kind of feel like when we said we was dating, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a conversation, we dating, so we dating, because I could have went out several times with somebody and it just wasn't anything. But for the purpose of your question, I'm gonna say 3.
3. Good answer.
Good answer. I feel like we're on Family Feud.
Yes. Sherry.
Here's the thing about Sherry.
Oh God.
It's just one of those things where I guess I'm kind of with Nadia. Like, I'm kind of like, we went out to eat, but that wasn't a date,
Yeah.
Like, it depends on how I feel about this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it was a date, but is it dating? I don't know.
Right.
Like, are we, like, is this a continuous, like, or is it just,
So there's a conversation that needs to be had.
There's definitely a conversation that needs to be had and clarity.
Yeah.
Okay. And I kind of feel like it's probably, for me, closer to when we say that we're exclusively dating.
Okay, and not just,
right, because
I'm dating you because I like you, so we're going to keep going out, but I'm also dating other people.
Right.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
Okay, because the article I came across actually said, and these were married couples, so the guys considered themselves dating the woman at like after 5 or 6 dates. And it also mentioned sometimes us as women can be like, yep, I'm dating him after 2 days.
oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And that would be me, where I'm just like, okay, we dating.
Yeah.
So that I can see where that would come from.
Right.
But
and
I would also say that maybe by the time you get to the 5th date, you're having that type of conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's very true. Number 2, is he considered a gentleman if he kisses you on the first date?
Can we have a tea time?
Okay. Tea time. Okay. Yes, we're now into the segment called Tea Time. Go ahead, Chanel. Take it away.
I have a story to tell. So, so one of my stores introduced me to a said guy.
Make sure y'all kids is not lit. I'm just
no, and we went out, and it was a great day. Like, we went out, we ate, and we went on a walk, and it was really nice until he tried to kiss me. And you all know me, like, I'm intimate, I'm very like touchy feely, like I enjoy that stuff, but I have to be into the guy, right? So I swear, y'all, it was like slow motion, like he was coming at me and I was just like, no. And you know how the music like, like I was just like, oh my God. And y'all, it was not a good kiss, and I was just like, now I can't talk to you ever again. Now it's over.
Like you should have held off and just kept taking me out.
Like you messed it up. Like he messed it up. I was just like, nope. And then from that point on, like I didn't talk to him. I didn't answer no calls. And I was just like, I'm done. Like I can't.
Game over.
It was, and to me, kissing is like number one. Like, if you're a bad kisser, I can't talk to you no more. That's it.
No more.
No more.
It's sad. So if y'all trying to talk to Chanel, don't kiss her on the first date. You better be confident.
You got to be confident
in your kissing.
Right. So you got to come correct. Like, don't no.
Get your kiss game up.
You got to get it together. Because I'm
going to
going
hashtag that. Get your kiss game up.
Kiss game up. Because I'm going to turn into a ghost, like in real life.
Yeah. She going to go AWOL.
Yes.
You know it said that about us as millennials, that we turn ghost on people. Stop talking to them.
I do. No shame either. Like, they'll see me like, hey, oh, I'm still a ghost. Like, you can't see me.
Yeah.
You said, you see me? You should.
It's funny because me and Chanel were at an event and I literally did that. Like, the guy came up to me and talked to me and I literally just act like I did not see him at all. I know. It's really trifling. I'm sorry. Shouts out to him.
Shout out to him. Because he was like John Cena and we were like, you can't see us.
How long did he stay there talking? Like, did he leave?
He reached out and touched me.
Wait.
Yeah, he reached out and like touched my shoulder. And I just...
And you didn't move?
Girl, I was like...
You was unbothered.
I am crying. Oh my God. Dead serious.
So
I know.
if you see Sherry...
The reason why... No, and it's really not if you see Sherry. It's really not that. It was really him. You trifling.
Oh.
So I don't have it. If I say anything... We're at an event. I can't, you know...
Right.
Yeah.
Because Sherry, she'll go off on me.
And I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's either... The two options were...
I'm a ghost.
Either I'm a ghost. That's option A.
Number one.
Or option B, I'm going to literally tell you about yourself. Okay. And this is not the correct format to do that. So it was in everyone's best interest that I be a ghost.
You just was a ghost.
Be a ghost.
You was Sherry the friendly ghost.
Well, you the friendly ghost.
In her right.
That was friendly.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Is he considered a gentleman if he kisses you on the first date, Nadia? And granted, I guess you can think back about, when you were dating your husband.
Yeah, when you were dating your husband.
Ours was a bit, ours was long distance, so we did a lot of conversating or conversing on.
Lakiesha just cut her eyes at Nadia for saying conversating.
She really did. We all did. We was like, wait a minute, how many math?
Right? How many degrees do you have?
So we did a lot of talking and things like that before we could actually see each other. So I don't think we did kiss on our first date. But I think that was simply because we were more friends and we weren't sure that we were going to take it to the next level, Okay. So I don't know. I'm going to say he's not. I'm going to say that if he kisses you on the first date, that does not necessarily make him not a gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like he can still be one because I think it kind of has to do with the vibe and where you guys are and so on and so forth. So I don't think that is the end all be all, Yeah.
Unless it's a bad kiss.
Right. You're right.
I agree.
I'm going to say if he kisses you on your hand or on your cheek, then he is a gentleman on the first date. But I'm going to say on the first date, it should be more about getting to know who you are. And my preference would be that he not try.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if a guy asks you, and of course this question was stemmed out of my experience. If a guy asks you how much something costs for a date, would you tell him and still go out? Or would you hang up on him? Or would you tell him and not go out?
I'm going to be petty. I'm going to tell him, like, it costs this much. And then I'm not going to answer when he calls.
Okay.
I'm going to be petty.
So what was the options again? I'm sorry.
Would you tell him and still go out? Or would you just hang up on him, like ignore him? Or would you tell him and then just not do anything after that?
Yeah, I think I would just tell him and then not.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I like to give a lot of information. I like to inform people. It's what I do. It really is. So I would tell him, and I would break it down. Like I would be like, this package is this, and you can also do this. Like I would give it all to him, and then if he's like, oh, okay, let's go, let's do option F, because that's how many options I gave. I would be like, oh no, thank you. And I would just leave it at that. And then if he inquired why, then I would let him know.
Listen. Sherry ain't playing no game.
I would just give him, some feedback and just say that, I don't think it's tactful. So I'm trying to help you out for your next date.
Yeah.
So this is for shouts out to the next girl.
Yes.
Now you
I'm
have
trying to help you out.
Now you have 17 options.
So you already know. You got the package.
Right, you already know.
So you present them to her.
This game ain't free. I'm not helping you. Help the next
Now,
one.
see, I'm all about the improvement. I'm trying to make you help you out, and now go take it over there.
And that's how I felt with that experience. Like, well, I'm gonna just help you out for the next person.
Because they're we're learning.
No, I'm shaking my head.
And we're growing and we're developing, and they're learning and they're growing.
I think I would tell them up front. Like, I wouldn't make them go through all that.
No,
like,
right.
No, thank you. I'd be like, brother, look, sorry, we ain't gonna be able to do this date, but just, for the next time. But I would tell him for the next time because he does need to, he needs to grow.
I'm still like, no. He's a grown man. Like, first of all, there's Google, there's Yahoo, there's all these search engines. You can find out how much something costs. I'm not helping you.
But you know what else is funny? That's probably what I would end it with. Like, and all this information can be found on Google.
On the World Wide Web.
Matter of fact, I'm sure it's even on Bing.
I cannot.
That was crazy.
If people steal Yahoo,
all of
it's on there too.
All the search engines.
Last question of it's a date.
It's a date. I think right.
When dating, when do you put him on your social media? Never. After we get married. After several months. Like taking those little pictures. Like, we cute. Let me take this picture. We out here.
I think we should start with Miss Nadia.
Okay.
Back to tea time. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Well, I can only speak based upon my experience, and I don't think that I posted my husband or my now husband until we were engaged. I believe that's when it was.
Okay.
I think it was like right. It was like right when I knew the engagement was going to happen, or like right after the engagement. Just kind of,
You said this just in case.
You had to be sure. Right. Had to be sure.
Child.
That is hilarious. So for me, a conversation needs to be had. So it's not just we're dating, but now is we're together. Whatever you call each other, girl, guy, man, boo, bae, whatever terms of endearment that you use. But a conversation needs to be had to say that, okay, we're exclusively together now. So that's when I'll be like, okay, now I feel comfortable posting you because I'm not going to look stupid because we both said that we're together. Yeah. But if we're just dating and kicking it and that conversation has not happened, nope, I might get a picture of your hands while we at dinner or something like that, but it won't, it's levels to this. This is a really sweet. It's levels, so it might be your hands or like your shadow or something, like to allude that you're there. But not a whole face shot, no. I take my Instagram seriously, like no.
She's gonna blur a reputation to make.
I'm a blur his face out.
Put censored over his eyes.
I'm using emoji man face.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Sherry.
Oh goodness.
When would you post him on your social media?
After we've been married for 5 years with 6 kids.
You said, then I know it's real.
Then I know it's real. No. I would say after you've been dating for a while. I'm sorry, you're exclusive. This is your boo.
Yeah.
Your man. And you genuinely feel like they're going to be in your life for a significant amount of time.
Yes.
Good answer. That's good.
Good answer. Good answer. Let's see if it's on the board. No, go ahead.
I think for me, I think when I'm engaged, I think I'm gonna be real private. Because I'm not as active on my personal page anymore. So
yeah, me either. Who needs a personal page?
Right. I mean, so yeah, for me it'll be when we're engaged. But I think it'll too be like, am I sure this happened? We done paid for the venues and sent out the invites, all of that. I mean,
right. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, is that because there's been a lot of canceled engagements, or is it just fear of the perception? I think why are we hesitant to put out who we're dating?
I think because so many couples break up on social media. Because I've done it where I'll be like, I thought they was together.
You see it so often, like seriously, like you like, dang, she poured her whole heart out about him, and then
and then you may, I'm not saying I do that, but some people,
right. I feel like this is an intervention, but that's okay.
To be like, no, because I've done it before.
I feel like it is.
I've done it before.
I've done it before. I feel like, Chanel, are you saying that we're attacking you?
I feel like y'all are.
No, okay. No, I I wasn't. I promise. I promise.
Oh
Y'all putting
my
yourself out there because I wouldn't even think about that.
But it's okay.
I was thinking.
But the thing is, so I'm thinking like people do that, and I'm always like, oh wow, like what happened?
and then you go back and you look to see if the pictures is taken
and
down,
then,
right?
But see, I didn't take the pictures down because I'm not petty like that, and he's really handsome, so I'm like, he can stay, like get my likes up. So
yeah, but no, I was not having an intervention, child.
Okay, I just want to point out that this is Lakeisha's second time having an intervention with us.
this week,
exactly. Shoot. If you want to say something.
No, because I was thinking, sometimes I've done that where I'll be like, oh, I thought they were together.
I do
and
that
then you
too.
go to their photo albums.
I guess
like,
to me, the worst thing for me is when I see like a woman dote over the guy and put up all these pictures and do the absolute most, and then the guy doesn't even like it. He never posts anything about her, and then he slides in your DM.
Oh, that's a good tea time.
I was just gonna say that sound like tea.
It did. It really did. That's a different episode. Listen, it's a date. That was a great game. Is that the end of it?
That
was fun.
It's a date. I think
It's a date. I like that.
It's a date. Okay. So one of the other questions that I have is lately, everybody is being unapologetically them. Like that's the hashtag, and that's everybody's saying that that's who they are, and they're being their authentic selves and whatnot. So this question is for Nadia. Is being unapologetically me the same as being rude? Can you be considerate and unapologetic at the same time? It kind of sounds like a contradiction, but is it?
Right. I don't think it's the same thing. I think that you can be unapologetically you and not be rude or be considerate at the same time. I think that it's all about how it's packaged. I would like to think that me, myself, I'm nice Nadia.
Nice Nadia.
And so while I'm in a stage of being unapologetically me, I'm always like a part of me being me is being considerate of others. So that's part of being unapologetically me. Whereas some people, they're like, I don't care about you, I'm rude. So that's their version of being unapologetically them. You know what I mean?
So rude is just who they are.
Right. I mean, like if that's your, like your standard, like if those are your morals, your values that you live by, then fine. But, for me, one of my values is to be considerate of others to some extent, as long as it's not jeopardizing me and what I stand for. So I definitely think that's possible.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Just wondering because, when people turn 30, they're like, now I know who I am and I'm going to be me.
Yeah. Right.
Unapologetic.
Be myself.
Right.
That's all I want to be in life. But,
so mad. So mad.
But almost choked, but okay.
Whoa.
But in any case, moving on to Chanel. 30 things every Black woman should know by 30.
All right, y'all. So this article I found on Essence. And it's just a list of 30 things that, we all should do. So I'm going to quickly list them, and then I guess we'll talk about it after. All right. So number 1, it says, you should have a song that immediately lifts your spirits or takes you back to a special, stress-free time, no matter where you are.
Wait, does anybody have a song?
I do.
What's
your song?
I do. Mine is actually Mary, Mary Joy. Because I was telling them before, Bishop actually preached about, like, you should always have a song that uplifts your spirit.
Okay.
I'll have to listen to it.
What's funny is mine, so don't judge me, y'all, but mine is Icy by Gucci Mane.
I love it.
Us back to freshman year.
Yeah, because that's when it was carefree. It was just fun.
Freshman year,
I could be in the baddest mood. If that comes on,
we was lit.
Right.
I had braces. Good time.
Good time. Yes. So yes. You remember that? Yes. We had a whole routine of that song.
Good time.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
And it made me, when I saw Girls Trip, because it's a part in there when they have a little song moment, and that's what it made me think about. I was in that movie dying. But go ahead.
Okay, number 2 is you should have a polite, diplomatic way of putting someone in check, and a taste of sister girl attitude when how you say this word?
Diplomat.
I'm slow.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. I'm an educator, y'all. Just won't cut it.
But you teach what grade?
I teach kindergarten.
Hello, somebody.
So I don't need to know that word.
You don't need it. I would say Lakiesha likely is the one who really has that down.
Absolutely, because she definitely has been putting us in check. We love you for it. Thank you.
She just did 2 interventions on us. Go ahead.
Number 3, you should have a favorite moisturizer, a favorite hair product, and a favorite recipe in case you have to cook something impressive. So, yeah, I think my favorite moisturizer, though, is that baby oil with the cocoa butter and shea butter in it.
Wait,
Y'all, I be soft. Like, touch my skin.
By Johnson?
Like, I be soft. Yeah, like, I be out here shining.
I don't like how Nadia just touched it, though. She did it all slow.
she was
like she wanted her or something.
No, my students were, like, rubbing my legs, and they were like, what? And I was just like, yep, that's that baby oil. I was like, you wear baby oil, too? I was like, yeah. Me too. Number 4 is a tool set, a card jack, and a refusal to be anybody's damsel in distress. Y'all got that in y'all trunk?
You know, I do, but if I had to use it, I wouldn't.
You would know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have it. Y'all saw my pink toolbox kit, but I don't know how to use that thing. It's just it was pink and I thought it was cute. I was like, oh, this is really cute. I should have one.
Let me put this in my trunk.
Right. Yeah, especially when I'm out there on my bike. I'm everybody's damsel in distress, honey. Okay. I don't care what happened.
So yeah, because
it could just be that the blinker don't work. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, somebody please help me.
Smoke signal.
Help. Please help. Why, Lord? Why me?
So bad. Number 5 is the willingness to resolve to let it go, whatever it is. Absolutely. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Yes. Number 6 is spiritual grounding and a prayer and meditation war closet to sneak off when life hands her chaos.
Yes.
Absolutely. Number 7, a signature dance and a motivational saying. Yep. I think we all got those moves.
I was just thinking about each of y'all signature dances. That's why I was laughing. But carry on.
That is so funny. I was gonna say, according to my son, I have a mama dance. Yeah, I think that's my signature dance.
Or the robot, depending on how many spirits I've had, it might come out. I don't know. A hot pickup line, in case she ever needs or wants to use it. See, mine's is like, do you like bread?
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say.
I don't
do you like bread?
I don't know how to pick up people.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know. So, number 9 is dreams and the dog desire to protect them, even from the people closest to her.
Yes, God.
Yes.
Unless they're your brunch with your,
Sherry, get the name right.
your brunch with besties. I was going to say the lunch lady.
Thanks, Dooch. Okay.
Shout out to Dooch.
He gave us a whole new name.
He gave us a whole new name.
We are not letting you live this down.
Ever.
He called us the lunch ladies. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Number 10, a great appreciation for her mother. Not necessarily a greater understanding, but at least a greater appreciation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I think we're all definitely there.
Yes. Mama is everything. The ability to small talk in any social circle and a 2-step to do at the office parties and conservative social events.
Apparently, I have to learn that.
I need to work on that.
What did the guy tell me to learn?
You have to learn how to step.
No, it was something else.
What?
Is it Bob or something?
Bob.
Yeah.
How to
I
Bob.
was like, I don't know what that is.
You don't know how to Bob?
Girl, no.
Yeah, it's a Chicago
you should have came
thing.
to my you should have came to the black and white ball with me because me and Chanel went and this guy, he was like he was with a woman that was not African American.
Right.
And so he just
really was.
Yeah, he just came right over to me and was like, "Come on, we gonna bop." And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, I don't know what that is." Yeah, I was like, "I don't know what that is." So
and he was like, "So you gotta learn." And we was like, "Bro, but your girl like right there. Like, what are you?"
But I think he asked because she don't know how to.
Yeah,
Right. All right, number 12, an appreciation for black men.
Yes.
Even if she never wants to date, marry, or sleep with one. Listen, if y'all support my blog, I'm always talking about black men. I love them.
Yeah.
I love y'all. Oh my God.
They are kings.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and Lorenz Tate was in
Was he?
Yes,
Oh,
he
and
was.
Kofi is in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Girl. Yes. I love black men.
Yes.
Carry
yes,
on.
Lord. All right, number 13, an awareness that racism still exists, but it's no excuse for settling. Amen.
Yes.
I'm definitely to the point where it's just like us or them. I'm sorry, but I'm going to choose us every time. All right. An awareness that there's no excuse for settling, period.
Yes.
Number 14.
Definitely.
Number 15, a body shaper, a good push-up bra, and a sense of humor. Listen here.
Shouts out to
So what we saying is, when we turn 30, y'all, them bodies ain't real that y'all see on us.
It's all about angles and all that. Listen, we got it down. Number 16, empathy for every black woman's experience, even if her walk hasn't looked remotely similar. Yes, we can all win, y'all. We're all queens. Number 17, confidence in knowing that having a man and children are part of the African American dream, but they don't have to be part of her African American dream.
Right.
So if you want to be that career driven woman and you want to do whatever you do on this, do you, boo. You got it. Number 18, a passport, because she should never be caught unprepared should an opportunity to travel. And I'm ashamed. I don't have a passport yet.
Neither.
So
we gotta go get one together. Then.
We should.
Yeah.
We
I mean, Nadia
doing everything.
I know.
always.
Well, I'm waiting on my job to do it.
I ain't mad. Can they do one for us too?
Right, I know.
Girl, whatever.
Can we get added on?
Yeah, we're gonna add that up. All right. The humility
Did you
to
see my face
yeah,
die?
you did.
I didn't even get
You really
that.
did.
That is funny.
The humility to apologize without prompting, prodding, or any lingering after effects.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Number 20, a financial plan, even if she only has $20 to her name.
Amen.
21, one thing that reminds her of being a little girl and invites her to feel playful, even if her childhood wasn't the greatest. That's true. Number 22, at least one cause or issue she feels passionate enough to debate or argue about. 23, a good pair of black heels, a button-down white shirt, and a get-em girl dress that makes her look like a brick house and feel like Beyonce.
I got like 17.
You got all the dresses.
All the dresses.
All of them.
We gotta go shopping in Sherry's clothes.
Right.
Swear. Number 24, a list of things that she wants in a house, a career, and a spouse, and a list of things she absolutely can't compromise on. Number 25, peace about being different and respect for what makes her that way. Number 26, an appreciation for diversity, both in and outside of the diaspora. Number 27, at least 3 things she can love and dote on herself about that have nothing to do with what she sees in the mirror. That's a good one. Number 28, an understanding that not everyone is going to like her, but that everyone has got to respect her.
Amen.
Number 29, the personal freedom to make choices without justifying them to her parents, her siblings, or anybody else for that matter. And last but not least, number 30, a few secrets to hold on to and drop when she gets old. Because old people say whatever they want to.
They do.
So, we old now, so
No, we ain't the old where we can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
we ain't there yet.
No, we ain't there
Because people gonna be like, what? So, yeah, that was
you
a 30 for 30.
when you said things that you won't compromise on, I was just wondering, do any of us have any of those things? So we were just talking about dating. Is there anything that you feel like, you know what, this is an absolute deal breaker?
Man,
I will not compromise on this.
a relationship with God.
Amen, Lakiesha.
Like, that's, if you have that, we can work, boo. Like we can make it work. But yeah, relationship with God is like key for me.
Mine would be to not want to build a relationship with my son. Not that I'm asking you to, replace his dad, because his dad is very much present, but to be that bonus person, to be that bonus dad, and to accept him like he was your own kid, not like a stepchild, but this is your kid. Like, I want you to really have that relationship and be responsible for him as well.
Yes, I love that.
What about you, Sherry?
So I thought that she was going to give a response, but you want to put it on me. For me, I would say humility. Like, that's something that I really value. Definitely a relationship with God. I would also say drive and goals. And then something that they're passionate about as well, because when I'm off volunteering or doing whatever, I don't want you telling me, why are you off doing that? Because you're off doing it too. So,
Right, that's good.
so yeah, that's off the top of my head, but
That's good.
Pretty
Good
good
answer.
for it to be off the top of your head.
what about you, Miss?
I think everything you guys said, I think you guys summed it up really well.
Mrs.
Yeah, Mrs.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so I called my brother this morning, and I was talking to him, and I was just like, so big bro is 31, we're right behind each other, and it's just the two of us. And so I was asking him, like, what have you learned, about turning 30 and things like that? What's your biggest regret? And he said his biggest regret, not really a regret, but he wishes that he would have been more planful about who his his kids' mother are, because you're tied to them forever.
Forever.
And just and making sure that you have that foundation for the kids, and then in terms of his the things that he learned, he was just like, you can apologize for a lot of things, but you cannot take them back. And I was like, that's true. So even with that apology, you still did whatever it is that you did.
That's true.
And he said this one time, this lady told him, you running around treating these women like this, a good woman is going to walk out of your life. And he felt like that happened. Yeah. So he was just like, he was like, a lot of times people, once they turn 30, they're like, oh, no more this, no more this, no more that. But he was like, well, why was any of that even acceptable in your 20s?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And not to say that he's been perfect, because he's made all his mistakes and things like that. But he's just, kind of at that point where he's like, I kind of knew that wasn't right then.
Right.
But I kind of used the excuse of, oh, I'm just young. I can just, do whatever.
Yeah.
That whole type of thing. So.
Interesting.
So
yeah, he opposed to being like a guest on our show?
I don't think he's opposed to it. I just, I was just trying to touch base with him this morning, and I was telling him about the podcast. So
I'm glad you did, because I definitely put that in the Google Doc that maybe Shaq's a guy.
Yeah.
His perspective.
And he be dropping gems, on his
all
IG,
the time.
so,
He does. He does. Oh, and then he was also talking about how we need to, in terms of dating, he was like, you got to pay attention to the red flags, because once you get to a certain point, you're always like, oh, I knew back then I should have. And there's always that point where you can go right or left, and for whatever reason, we choose to go left instead of going right. And he was like, a lot of times people tell you exactly who they are. And if they don't tell you, they definitely have shown you. They do. And I mean, it's funny because, like, I remember like some of my friends sharing stories with me, and they'll literally tell me things that the guy has said, like, oh, I never want to get married, or things like that. But yet they still want to be with him, or they want to change him, or they think. But it's like, dude, every time that you continue with this guy, you're accepting who he is. So either accept who he is
or move about, because you can't change him. It's not gonna work.
And so for him, he said the pivotal moment in his life was when he joined church. And that's when he felt like he really started to pay attention to how you're supposed to treat women. And that's when he started to learn more about himself. And back to the stages that you were talking about. Say it again.
Identity versus role confusion, or the intimacy versus isolation?
I think it was identity. That's the one that comes first, right?
Comes before.
So he felt like that's when he was getting that together, so that he could go forward and have a good, healthy relationship. So so shouts out to bro.
Yes, thanks, bro.
Shouts out to bro.
Thanks, big bro.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to share or add? Any other questions?
Are we going to do dessert?
Yes. Okay.
What's for dessert?
We're ready to.
I was going to bring us to dessert too. I didn't make it out there. Next time.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead with our final thoughts. That's for dessert.
Yay.
You have something, Lakiesha?
I do. I just want to leave you guys with, because I said it earlier, but when you know your worth, you won't allow somebody else to dictate it for you. So yeah, just remember that, especially us as the women, Black women at that.
That's good.
Right. Amen. Miss Chanel?
So I'm going to say, just continue to follow your own clock, and don't stress that you don't have X, Y, and Z just because you're 30, because we are all on our own time schedule, and whenever God decides that we, should follow something or have a blessing, that's when it should happen. So don't try to do it on your own time.
And Miss Nadia?
I would say just spend time, figuring out who you are. Spend more time figuring out that, and be you with no regrets.
Be you. Okay. And I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. Sometimes in life, your situation will keep repeating itself until you learn from your lesson. Forget what hurt you, but never forget what it taught you. The author is unknown, but that quote actually meant a lot to me today, because I got a call from one of my friends who's out of town, but she is a serial dater. And the guy who she went out on a couple dates with she said, Sherry, he reminds me so much of such and such is from her past. And I was like, ooh, it's probably a lesson. But this time I think she got it right. She saw the same signs in this guy today that she saw in the guy years ago, except for this time she was less accepting. And she decided today, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna call him and leave him a voicemail and tell him I'm done. And she called me back and she was like, okay, I did it. So shouts out to her.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
So all right, so thanks for listening. We will see you next time.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for Brunch with Besties.
Peace.
Peace out. Thank you for listening to Brunch with Besties. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to shoot us an email at brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram. Our handle is @brunchwithbestiespodcast. For right now, you can listen on SoundCloud. Be sure to review, subscribe, and comment. We appreciate it. Thank you.